Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Cerise Fairfax. I'm located right here in the Dominican Republic, and I am specifically located in a little area, local area called Los Charamicos in a province called Puerto Plata in a municipal called Sosua. Today we're going to talk about some travel tips and what to expect when you come to the Dominican Republic. Whether you're coming for your first time or you've been here a lot and maybe you decided you want to go off the resort and you want to get yourself an Airbnb, or maybe you never, decided to come for like a month. Maybe you've only come for 7 days at a time and now you're like, I want to come longer. So some things that you should expect. Let's get into that today. These are just going to be random things, all right? But first, let's look at technology. Number one, if you're coming from Europe, you're going to need an extension, one of those adapters, because here we have the same type of adapter that is used in America and in Canada. If you're coming from Canada or America, you just bring your regular charger and you will be fine. No matter if it's your cell phone, your laptop, no matter what it is, we use the same outage power and the same type of outlet plug that is used in America and Canada. Tip number one. Tip number two, you really should bring pesos. Now, a lot of people ask me, should I get pesos? Now, if you can get pesos from where your country is, Canada, America, or wherever, then sure, get some pesos. You don't have to get a whole bunch of pesos at first. Just get a few of them so you feel comfortable getting used to the dollars and, the pesos and also the conversion rate. Now, I'm just going to quickly get a pen, write this down, or remember it if you have a good memory. I'm going to quickly go through the different pesos and how they convert into American dollars. Because another tip is Canadians, the money that has the Canadian symbol on it is not accepted here. There's two types of money that's accepted almost everywhere here, and that is American dollars and pesos. Now, some places, restaurants, if you you'll get like a receipt when you're leaving a restaurant and it will tell you how much you owe. And some restaurants will say, pesos, dollars, euros, and stuff of that nature. But not many restaurants will say that. So let's get back to the pesos. There are a few papers that you're going to use in the pesos. There's a 50, there's a 100, there's a 200, 500, 1,000, and 2,000. But you're going to find that you will use more the 50s, the 100s, the 200s, the 500s, and the thousands. Let's go through the conversion of each one because you really need to know this before you come so you won't be confused, okay? Okay, so I was able to come up with a few bills here. Before I made this video, I maybe should have made sure I had all the bills, but I'm just rhyming these things off the top of my head. And not only that, we have Tropical Storm Franklin rolling through right now. It's not too bad, actually. So not like the hurricane that we had last year. Oh my gosh. So this is what I'm going to show you. You may not see it really a lot. You may not see it a lot on the screen, but when you are out late at night and you had a couple of drinks or there's just not a lot of light and you're not very familiar with the money, a lot of people give away the 200 instead of the 1,000. Give away the 1,000 instead of the 200. So here's the differences. Of course, you can see the difference in color, right? You can. Like one looks a little bit more violet, the other one looks a little bit more orangey red. But when you are playing with them together and you have them together, sometimes people make mistakes. They also make the same mistake with the 2000, which is $40, with the 2000 and the 500. Be very careful with the 2000 and the 500. Okay, so really the 200s and the 1000s should be separated in your wallet. The 500s and the 2000s should be separated in your wallet. Be very, very careful. While I'm showing you money, I'm just going to show you the 100 as well. That's what the 100 looks like. Kind of like a Canadian $100 bill. So, yeah, be very careful with that. And if you can get pesos before you come and you're getting a really good exchange, then definitely bring a few pesos. When you get to the airport, don't think about changing your pesos there. Your taxi cab driver will accept American money. Very rare will the taxi cab driver accept Canadian money. Very rare. I don't know any of them, but you may luck out, right? So if you are Canadian and you're coming here, it's probably the best idea, if you can't get some pesos, then just convert maybe $100 over to American money. And then when you come here, you can spend that on your cabbie, your taxi, going to where you need to go. Okay? Now, also, when you do get here, you can exchange your money. Now, you can send yourself a Western Union and go to the Western Union and pick it up with your passport, or you can go to a place here that we have called Caribbean Express, which gives a really good exchange. Take your passport. You can also go to the banks, take your passport. But then there's these like side places along the roads, and they're called money exchange. And there's some of them are kind of dingy looking, you know, like seedy little places. You go in there and the guy just lifts up, you know, a little piece of cardboard, and you hand him your money, and then he hands you your money back. And a lot of people feel very uncomfortable with that. They're like, oh my gosh, am I going to get the right exchange? Oh my gosh, are they giving me counterfeit? You know, but don't worry about it, because they're not giving counterfeit. That's not the name of the game. They're not trying to rip off tourists. And usually some of them will give really good exchange rates, sometimes even better than the banks. So keep that in mind as well. All right. There's another little thing you should expect, and that is the toilet paper. The toilet paper smells like baby powder sometimes. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. It's one of the things when I first came here that I noticed when I went to use the washroom at the Airbnb I was at, and I smelled baby powder. And I was like, wow, it smells so good. And then when I, took the toilet paper, I was like, oh my gosh. And I loved it. Now, of course, women have to wipe every single time they go pee. So I was a little bit worried, and this may be too much information, so I apologize if it is. But I was worried because we can't just be wiping ourselves with chemicals, Like, we have to be very careful with what we're wiping ourselves with, especially women that are sensitive to perfumes and sensitive to certain, aromas down there. Some women are very sensitive. So if you are that woman and you find that you are breaking out down there or anything of that nature, then maybe you might just want to, get something that's unscented, look around, or just bring your own toilet paper or Kleenex or whatever. And if you're not, then you will love it. You will love the smell. Like, I love it. Every single time I'm like, oh my gosh, I love the smell of the toilet paper. Okay, so that being aside, other things that you should expect, and I'm going to do a private video about this, like a separate video about this, but you should expect people to approach you, okay? You will have that, foreigner sign on your head, especially in Sosua. It's me now being here for 5 years. I know when somebody is brand new. Like, I can sit at a restaurant and people stroll by and I can see right there, that person just got here a little while ago, because it's such a small town and it is like so close quarters that people come out. They come out all the time. And people that have been here for a while, you can see it in their walk. Even if I haven't ever seen them before, I I can tell that they are, they've been here seasoned. They're a seasoned expat or they're a seasoned visitor. They know their way around. But people who have not been here before or are not accustomed to coming very often, you can see it. It is just written all over their face. It is stamped right across their forehead, newbie. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's not like you're going to be targeted for any type of a crime or anything of that nature, but you will fall prey, so to speak, if you are not on your toes. That means that, someone may charge you a little bit more for something, and you may have to go through the little, ups and downs, the valleys and the peaks to know what the prices are, sometimes, and especially with prices rising right now, sometimes they'll say an avocado is 100 pesos. And I know full well that it's 50 pesos. I know it's 50 pesos. And sometimes I'll be sitting somewhere and the ladies, there's Haitian ladies that sell fruits and vegetables and clothing and, creams and stuff like that of that nature on their head. And they walk around and they'll ask you if you want, anything. And so to foreigners, I often see them selling avocados for 100 pesos and also mangoes for 100 pesos. And when you're here, you kind of look at the 100 pesos and you're like, oh, that's not really a lot. But when you do the conversion in your head, because you know the conversion, you're like, that's $2 for an avocado. Don't get me wrong, these avocados are huge. They're bigger than your hand, and they're also very delicious. And put a little bit of salt on them, a little bit of feta cheese, maybe blue cheese, or mix it up, or you can even blend it and make some wonderful guacamole, and you're eating for days because they're so big. But at the same time, you can easily go to the grocery store and buy one for half the price. So always be careful when you're dealing with people, and ask them the price and just kind of ask prices. Don't buy off every single vendor because they're passing by. They're going to continue to pass by all day unless you need that product at that very moment and you can't go to a grocery store and you're leaving the street and so you're not going to see another vendor. Then just hold on and you will be able to see that you'll be able to save your money. If you don't mind paying the extra price because you want to invest a little bit into the culture, invest a little bit into the economy and help someone that is walking up and down the streets all day long, then definitely, buy it because you'll be helping a family. But at the end of the day, if you feel like you are just getting gringoed priced over and over and over again, then you may want to use a little bit more, common sense type of thing. The gringo prices, something you should know, there are gringo prices here. They are not outrageously high. So like I said, for an avocado, you're going to pay double price, but they're not going to charge you 200 pesos for an avocado. That's not going to happen. So it's not outrageously priced. It's usually, by maybe about 100 pesos or so more. Sometimes they will overcharge you for motoconchos. Motoconchos are moto taxis, motorcycle taxis. So anywhere in Sosua, if you want to go around El Bate, it is like downtown Bate, it is 50 pesos during the day, 100 pesos at night. This is right now 2023. That price is going to change, I believe, in 2024. And I do believe that people are going to start charging more. Now, if you were going from downtown Sosua, El Bate to like La Mulata, it is not going to be 50 pesos in the day. It will be 100 pesos in the day and 200 pesos at night. If you're going to Casa Linda, the same thing. If you're going to Playa Laguna, the same thing. If you're going to Sosua Ocean Village, the same thing. 200 at night and 100 during the day. If you're coming to Charamicos, where I live, then it really depends on how well you know your motorcycle concho, and you could probably get away with 50 pesos during the day and 100 pesos, at night, even though it's not downtown Bate. Mosquitoes. I want you to keep in mind that there are mosquitoes, but I don't want you to be afraid of mosquitoes. I don't hear of a lot of people suffering with mosquito bites or anything of that nature. We have a spray here called Baygon, Baygon. It is by far the best. As a matter of fact, I have a bottle here. I'm going to go grab it and show it to you. Hold on. So it's actually made by Johnson's and Johnson's, and oh no, SC Johnson. I don't know. I don't have my glasses on. But here we go. I have 2 bottles here. You can buy a small bottle. You see, it's called Baygon, and that's probably backwards, but it's Baygon. Green bottle, smells great. Doesn't smell too much like cockroach spray at all, but it kills cockroaches and mosquitoes almost immediately. They have another spray here called Plagox, and it's not as good, but it is good if you're just trying to kill mosquitoes. But I mean, there are flying cockroaches here as well. They are big. They are about as big as my baby finger, sometimes a little larger. I have killed a few of them in my 5 years here, and it doesn't feel good because they're so big. I feel like I'm killing a mouse. They fly, okay? But sometimes they don't fly very well. They fly outside when they get moving and grooving, but in a house, they tend to just run like a cockroach does. Now you might be saying, oh my gosh, a flying cockroach as big as your baby finger. They're not in the tourist area so much. I'm not sure why. I think because the tourist area may just be, I don't know why. I really don't know why. But when I'm in the tourist area, sometimes I'll see those cockroaches crawl like along the ground. But I don't see them fly at nighttime when I'm at a bar or at a restaurant or anything of that nature. But when I'm on my terrace here, where I live at nighttime, I do not go on my terrace at nighttime because you are going to see a cockroach. So I keep all my windows closed at nighttime, and that's it. I'm cool with that. You know, once it gets dark, you know, the freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. And those cockroaches come out like freaks. And I'm like, And they come out in pairs. It's not like they all come out like German cockroaches from Canada. You know, the little cockroaches from Canada. They don't come out like that, like a whole bunch of them. Like you're like, oh my gosh, look at them all. They usually come out in pairs. And I swear they are like monogamous, a husband and wife, because you always see 2. If you see one, then you know it's running to the one that it loves, or it's running from it because it was on its way somewhere. So yeah, I swear, you always see 2 of them. When it comes to shopping and grocery stores, I've mentioned this in other videos before, you know, you want to make sure that if it's a grocery store, you can use your credit card, you can use your debit card, you can also use cash, but cash is king here when you are buying things on the street and just regular stores, like, you know, like Colmados and corner stores and stuff. They really don't take debit cards or credit cards. Some do. I just found out the other day that down the street from me, a Colmado, a corner convenience store, does take a credit card. So that's pretty great. And a lot of people are advancing a lot more as we move along, because there is going to be a huge highway built going from Santiago to Puerto Plata. And that is going to really be amazing for commerce. So, you know, with influx of that, there's going to be a lot more people using cashless ways of spending money. And I just wanted to also, just to kind of end, animals, pets. Dominicans love dogs. Most of the Dominicans love dogs. So if you have a dog, don't worry about bringing your dog. If you're bringing your dog will be very much loved. A lot of Dominicans have dogs. A lot of dogs are on the street. There's a lot of dogs that, you know, maybe just left their home. They rather be beach dogs. They rather be on the street because they somehow got loose, and so now they just like to stay outside. Those are usually very friendly dogs, because most of the street dogs were born around tourists who love dogs, or they came from a family that maybe couldn't feed it any longer or it ran away from. So they're not wild pack of dogs. They're not going to chase you and hurt you and eat you unless that dog was trained to do that, and it's very rare here. If you're coming here for dental work, I think that's a great thing. You can come on down here for dental work. I have a dentist. I am supposed to go get filling right here on this tooth. And also on Friday, I'm supposed to go and get braces. Yes, because I have these two teeth right here, like a little space, but that's because one of my teeth are inside. And then it looks like it has a space, and then I have one right here that's turning over. So I went to the dentist and I'm like, why don't you just pull those two teeth out and give me two implants? And they're like, no. They're like, why would you do that? You know, like, get braces. And I'm like, braces? Like, I'm type A personality. I'm always up on the camera. I'm like, I'm not getting braces. They're like, you can get see-through braces. You know, you can get the train tracks. You're only going to need them for a year. They're like, $1,000 is what it's going to cost for two implants, because each one is about $600. Good tip for you right there, because I know they're a lot more expensive in America and Canada. Well, the United States and Canada. So they're like, it costs $1,000, a little bit more to get two implants. Why don't you get braces? It's the same price, and you hold on to your original teeth. And I really liked that. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me hold on to my original teeth. So I'm going to take that approach first to see if that works. And I don't mind putting braces on for a year, you know. So I'm going to go do that on Friday. And then after that, I will have an update for you on my whole excursion, because I recently also went and got some resin on my tooth in the front. I chipped my tooth in the front. And for a while, it was chipped on this. It was just kind of like shorter than the other one, right? But then it chipped like about 2 weeks ago, I guess. And I went and I got it fixed. Let me get a little bit closer. Let's get closer. Solid Extra Dry. That one right there was chipped. And it cost $80 to do that. $80 to put a cap on and fix my my front tooth and even it out with the other one. And then the cleaning cost $2,000. So it was pretty much $100, right? No, $120 for cleaning and also to fix these and the front. And yeah, I don't know how much a filling is going to cost, but I'll put you guys in on that information once that all is done as well. And that's going to be in a separate video. So look out for the video that I'm going to do about my teeth and dentists and all those costs. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Cerise Fairfax. If you enjoyed my content today, please go ahead and subscribe. It's free, and it is an awesome way that you can help my channel grow. Thank you so much. Huge hugs, loads of love, big blesses. Take good care of yourself today. Oh, and by the way, I have another channel called Sister Cerise that it used to be about like celebrity stuff and readings and everything, but now I'm just in the middle of revamping it, and I'm turning it into AI. So check that out. It's going to be information on AI, humanoid robots, and, you know, information on what we could expect in the near future when it comes to artificial intelligence. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful day.